Thank you for watching this video on bankruptcy basics. This video will explain what bankruptcy is and what happens in a bankruptcy case. This information is provided to help consumers, individuals like you, understand the bankruptcy process. People who are having trouble paying their debts sometimes consider bankruptcy as a remedy for the situation. Bankruptcy is a legal process by which you can deal with your debts when you can no longer pay them. By filing bankruptcy, many individuals find that they're able to get most, if not all, bills discharged, meaning wiped out, keep most, if not all, of their property, and or get extra time to pay bills if you have a regular income. An individual called a debtor usually files bankruptcy to obtain a discharge, which will wipe out all or most of his or her debts so that they will not have to be paid. A married person may file a loan or with the person's spouse. Once the bankruptcy begins, creditors cannot try to collect debts from the bankruptcy debtor or sue the debtor to obtain a judgment. With a few exceptions, the creditors have no claim on the debtor's future income or future assets.
Here in the Bay Area, you don't have to tell us about the housing bubble, mortgage foreclosure, or job loss.
And unlike Washington, we can't print money and expect taxpayers like you and me to bail us out.
If you want real answers on mortgage foreclosure and bankruptcy, call Cox & Sanchez for a free evaluation.
Bankruptcy is not the only method of dealing with too much debt. In some situations, another way might be more advantageous to the debtor than filing bankruptcy. Such alternatives may include an out-of-court settlement with creditors, reduction of payments to creditors, attaining help from a consumer credit counseling service, or payment of debts by sale of assets or borrowing on assets. However, these methods require some cooperation from creditors, and the chances of success are greater if the debtor attempts these alternatives soon after financial difficulties begin.
In trying financial times, have you been faced with a job loss, unexpected medical bills, are creditors harassing you? Is your home in danger of foreclosure? Before giving creditors the last of your hard-earned dollars, call the law office of Cox & Sanchez for a free evaluation on how to protect your assets and eliminate your debt.
There are three main types of bankruptcy cases for individuals. These are referred to by their chapter number in the Bankruptcy Code. The Bankruptcy Code is federal, not state law. And bankruptcy cases are filed in the United States Bankruptcy Court, not in a state court. The most common types of cases for individuals are Chapter 7, Chapter 13, and Chapter 11.
Florida families have been hit hard with the financial crisis. Have you been faced with a job loss, unexpected medical bills? Are creditors harassing you? Is your home in danger of foreclosure? Click here for a free evaluation on how to protect your assets and eliminate your debt.
A Chapter 7 is a liquidating bankruptcy, the most common bankruptcy case. In return for having debts discharged, the debtor must turn over to the Chapter 7 bankruptcy trustee all property except for certain assets which Florida law allows the debtor to keep as exempt so that the debtor can make a fresh start. In most Chapter 7 cases, all property is exempt, and so the debtor keeps all of the property. Those cases are sometimes called no-asset cases. However, when a debtor's assets exceed what is allowed to be exempted, the trustee sells the property and distributes the proceeds to the creditors according to priorities established by law. Very often, there is not enough money to pay for anything more than the cost of administration, and the creditors will receive nothing. The principal advantage of Chapter 7 is that the debtor emerges from bankruptcy without any future obligations on his or her discharged debts, except for certain debts that public policy dictates should not be wiped away. For example, debts incurred through fraud or debts for child support and alimony.
Here in the Bay Area, you don't have to tell us about the housing bubble, mortgage foreclosure, or job loss.
And unlike Washington, we can't print money and expect taxpayers like you and me to bail us out.
If you want real answers on mortgage foreclosure and bankruptcy, call Cox & Sanchez for a free evaluation.